Hello, welcome back to another drawing video with me, Molly, aka Mad Mall. Today we are just doodling, which may not seem like it's very important, but I'm going to explain to you why it is. Just to get started, I'll let you know the pen and paper that I'm using today are both from the dollar store. I kind of wanted to do a sort of doodle activity like this, mainly to point out that you definitely don't need fancy art supplies to make art. But also, I want to talk a little bit about a really fun and helpful little exercise that I do every once in a while. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm just starting off this little doodle page drawing some stuff that I'm really comfortable drawing, which is a great way to get started if you are in the mood to make art, but you just need a little warm up. Pick something that you know you're good at drawing. And just draw a couple of those. Get your hand warmed up and your eyes and your brain working. And so I started off with a little eye and mouth, and then I'm going to get into my actual sort of activity. So today I am just going to be drawing objects that I see around me. This is going to sound really simple and silly, but I honestly find it to be the best type of life drawing practice. As I've talked about a little bit in other videos, I find that constantly sort of practicing with your technical skills is really helpful and something that's super necessary to do if you plan to get better at drawing. And one of those things that is good to practice is being able to look at something in real life and draw it. But sometimes you don't want to spend like 45 minutes drawing a hyper realistic tin can. So sometimes a little challenge that I give myself is just to fill a whole page with simple little items and to not spend too long on any particular drawing. So, for example, I drew that tin can in about 3 minutes. It was super quick and it's not perfect. But the point of this exercise is not perfection. The point of this exercise is to practice connecting your brain and your eye and your hand. So you look at the thing, you get the gist of the shapes and the angles, and then you just start drawing with a pen, no erasing, no changing of shapes once you've laid them down. And it's a really good way to get that practice in with eyeing things. So just being able to look at an item and visualize the shapes, visualize the negative space, and lay it down on the paper. And something that you'll notice as I get further into this page is most of the stuff that I'm drawing is not perfect. Those headphones that I just finished are very wonky and the angles are a little bit off, the shapes are a little deformed. But again, perfection is not the goal here, and I really encourage you, if you're trying to get better at drawing, to let go of having perfect drawings. The majority of the things that you create will probably not be perfect. So sometimes it's nice to just let yourself draw something that looks weird at the end. Because the thing is with this sort of exercise is the more you do it, the easier it will become, like so many things. So another tip for this exercise is try to choose items that are both simple and yet interesting to draw. So what I mean by that is something like this tiny pair of scissors. Scissors have some weird shapes and some interesting mechanics, but all in all, it's a very simple object. There's not a lot going on. So it gives you a bit of a challenge without being so challenging that you end up scribbling it out and ripping your hair out because you just could not get any of the shapes to look right. It's the same as with like headphones or a tin can, is ultimately they're pretty simple objects, but they have enough going on to keep it fun and to put a bit of a challenge into it. The nice thing about this exercise too is you literally can use any objects. So I just use some stuff that I have lying around my desk. But literally, you could just go into any room of your house, collect a little batch of objects, and challenge yourself to draw them and to fill a whole page. And it keeps it interesting and it keeps it challenging. And honestly, this is an activity that I do pretty frequently. I find it to be super helpful as sort of a warm up activity, but I learn a lot too when I do it. And I find that the more often I do it, the better I get at it, obviously. But yeah, honestly, there's not much else to say about this little drawing challenge. The rest of this video is just me filling up this page with little images. I pick a few more objects, but also, sort of like I'm doing right now, I add in just some little doodles that I find fun. Eyes and lips are totally my go-to when it comes to doodling, so I do a few of those. It's all just about drawing freely, not worrying about being perfect. When you're going in straight with pen and not doing any sketching underneath, you have to just sort of let what happens happen. You know, there's no erasing, there's no fixing a line, and it's good practice to do some drawing like that every once in a while. Truly, the biggest challenge that I had with this page of doodles was finding interesting objects to draw. I didn't really want to just keep drawing paintbrushes, which, you know, I have a lot of sitting around. So here, like, I'm just doodling a little rose, just trying to fill the page up and keep my hand moving, and not give up before the page is filled to my liking. And I know this video is sped up a little bit, but just for reference, all in all, this took me about half an hour or maybe 40 minutes to do. And honestly, it would have gone even faster if I hadn't been searching for stuff to draw. So my point is that this is a really quick and easy activity for you to do if you're trying to get better at drawing what you see and drawing from life. Because obviously there are lots of, life drawing, model drawing sort of courses that you can take. There's all kinds of books and resources about realism and photorealistic drawing. But this is really more about just training your eye and achieving, a sense of realistic imagery, but it's not really realism. And I wasn't really aiming for full realism. I'm just aiming to draw some stuff that is recognizable and, just warm up a bit. So yeah, there's honestly only about 5 minutes left of this video. So I think I'm just gonna leave you to watch me draw some more stuff and fill the page up a bit. I hope that this little video has inspired you to do some drawing practice. Just break out any cheap pen that you can find, get some scrap paper, and grab some objects from around your desk or your bathroom or your kitchen and just draw some stuff. Just challenge yourself to try something new and look at an object and try to recreate it on paper. And you might find that it's a little easier than you thought, or it's way harder than you thought. But either way, it's good practice and it's a great exercise if you're trying to get better at drawing. And as always, if you're looking for more of my work, There are links in the description to my website and my Instagram, or you can follow me here on YouTube for lots of drawing tutorials and just drawing videos, art videos. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this little doodle sesh, and hopefully I will see you next time. Have a good one, everybody.